how to make a timetable in a very limited amount of time. Definitely a question you might be asking yourself this vacation or any time of your life that is going on right now. You have a small amount of time and you have to cover this huge syllabus. Guys, you have come to the perfect video. I am Dr. Hasna and I will be sharing my topper tips with you on how to make the best timetable you can. Watch till the end. By the end, you'll come out a timetable specialist like myself. So guys, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that post notification on button, and let's get started. So guys, whenever I start making my timetable, firstly, I get myself a diary. And once again, if you want to order one of those diaries that have your name customized on them, I think you should hurry and give me a DM and place your order. Guys, I get myself a diary and the first thing I do is write down the difficult areas. This is a very crucial step in timetable making. Write down the areas that you think you are suffering in. So if I open my upper limb book right here and I go through the index of it, I just want you guys to go through the contents page of this book. Look at the bigger picture. Which chapters are my weaknesses? Let me assume that the weakest chapter that even in my view that I believe that is a difficult chapter in upper limb would be the forearm and hand chapter, because it has a lot of information going and a lot of important things that are going to come up in your exam. So that's the first step. You know the chapter that you think is going to be a very huge problem to you if you do not take care of it. So guys, write down that in your weak area segment. Now this is going to be in a descending order. Now the weakest area, forearm and hand. What's the next weak area that is concerning you? So in that case, you're going to look again. You're probably going to say joints of upper limb. If I guessed it right, I have psychic powers. If I didn't, how can I know? I'm in a video. You're the one who's living. Okay, so now suppose you've written your weak areas. Now you just go ahead and write the areas that are relatively difficult, not the most difficult. You've been through them before, but they are causing trouble to you. So for instance, for that, I bet you'll write down the pectoral region, the axilla, and the scapular region. I'd do that if I were you. Then you make a category others, and whatever's left, you just write it down. All right. Now what you're gonna do is forget the topics now, close that book, and think about the time you have. So for instance, and more likely, I think you guys have about 25 days, 30 days of vacations. Usually what I do when I make timetables, I always go for a little amount of time. For instance, I have a 30-day vacation. I will write down 25 days just so that what if I have some days that I don't want to study and some days I want to rest, or some days in the middle that I'll just lose. So always write down the minimum estimated time that you have, and that will make your timetable more flexible. On the next page, you write down the amount of days. Write it down right now. I am waiting. So for instance, it's 25 days. All right. Now we know the topics that we have to cover. We know the amount of days we have. Now you can see if it's organized this way, it seems doable, right? Otherwise, what were you doing? You were just sitting down and wondering, oh my God, I have a lot to do. Oh my God, forearm and hand was so difficult. Oh my God, joints to kabhi honge nahi mujhse. You're just going to be thinking of that and you're just going to be worried, like, how do I cover? It's going to be a mess. This is what a diary and a timetable is going to help you at. You're going to open that diary, take that pen and write down. So things are right in front of you, make use of them. You're going to write this down and now your thoughts are organized. All of a sudden, life doesn't seem so impossible anymore. So guys, what you're going to do now is divide those topics into those days you have in such a way that you're going to give your weak areas more amount of days. For instance, we have 25 days. Now this time I'll have to do the maths a little bit because I got a weak maths. That's no big deal. Everybody has weak maths. That's why they're doing MBBS in the first place. I hope so, guys, that's the case for you. So now what I want you to do is turn the next page and write down the days. Like literally write down the dates. So for instance, you have till 15th July, right? So you're going to write it down. So today, suppose it's 21st. You're just going to write down 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, all the way till 15th. You're going to make the timetable till 15th. Just like that. So guys, if you can see this, just like that, I've written down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was on my MBBS diary. And like that, I want you to write down all the days you have. Go to the weak areas and think about it. How many days will I need to cover my forearm and hand if that is your weakest topic? How weak am I at it? I believe I can complete forearm and hand within 3 days. 2 days I can give to the joints of the hand because that's coming in the descending order. It's the relatively less difficult topic. So for 3 days, 21, 22, 23, you're going to write down forearm and hand. Forearm and hand. Now, how you cover it, you are gonna figure that out. How long do you need? Is it 1 hour that you need, 2 hours, 3 hours? How long will it take for you to cover the forearm and hand chapter within 3 days? So that you can divide your time through the day. You can be like, okay, I'll study from 2 to 3, I'll complete one half, and then from 9 to 10, I'll complete the other half according to the times that you are most active at. All right, so that's how you're going to divide somehow the forearm and hand into 3 days. But the main focus, the main goal is that by the end of these 3 days, my objective is that forearm and hand should be at my fingertips, because literally I'm going to be learning the muscles of the opposition and I'll know how the fingertips work. So I should have it at my fingertips. So forearm and hand will be done by 3 days. Since joints is relatively easier because it was in descending order, you were going down. So joints you will write down for the next 2 days. How will I cover that? You can be like, okay, so I'll do the shoulder girdle and shoulder joint in one day, and the next day I'll do elbow joint with the rest of the joints in the next day. And trust me, your days are like 24 hours. Do not consider a day as a small time. Day is full of minutes, full of seconds, and guys, you need to realize the value of time. You have so much time at hand, but you're literally letting it go so easily. So guys, do not do that from now on. You're literally going to make use of the time that God has given you, that God has literally blessed you with. Make use of that time. Alright, so in 2 days, suppose we're done with joints. Now what do I have to do? I have to cover all the other regions by 15th. Once you're done with the difficult areas, guys, hear this out once again. Once you're done with these difficult topics, 5 days later, guys, you're gonna feel so much relieved. You're gonna be like, oh my God, because literally these topics were the reason that you weren't touching the book in the first place. I know this for a fact. When you see something difficult in a book, when you know there's something very difficult kept in it, you don't like to touch that thing, because that's how a human works, in denial. Next 5 days, you are going to be so motivated that covering the rest of the topics by 15th of July or whenever it is, 13th of July, 12th of July, whenever you want to cover them, they're going to be a piece of cake. So now let's divide. So we have 26, 27, 28. Now how many days do we have left? February, March, April, May, June. Is it June right now? So June has 30 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after joints, probably there will be a couple of days that you have some event coming up that you'll be like, okay, I need to stop studying for these 3 days. So let's resume by 1st, all right? Now from 1st to 10th, I am telling you, always give yourself a minimum amount of time. Make a goal that is a little difficult, all right? So by 10th, I have to complete whatever is left in upper limb. So how will I do that? Let's see the topics we have. We have the scapular region, the axilla, and all of those topics that I found a little bit difficult, but not the most difficult. So I'll just do it like this. Let's begin with the pectoral region, because it's the first chapter. So you're going to do the pectoral region in 1 day. Trust me, it's doable in 1 day. Then you can do the axilla in 1 day. And guys, here's the deal. You can watch my videos on these topics and then study the topic. It'll be on your fingertips. This is something that I am making up. You can make your own timetable up. That's completely on you. You want to give scapular region 2 days, axilla half a day. That's totally up to you. And make sure you're not studying more than 6 hours a day, because that's gonna kill you. Okay, you don't wanna go crazy studying. You have to have a life too. Okay. Then you do scapular region for 2 days. Okay. Then you do like arm for like 2 days because you feel like difficult topic. What else is left? You have the back. Then you just put the back 1 day. 1 day for back is enough, guys. You can do the cutaneous chapter, and then you do like 2 days for bones. All the bones of upper limb that we studied, their attachments, their clinicals, etc. 9th and 10th. So guys, here you are. You literally completed the syllabus of upper limb in no time. And literally, to be honest, just because you used your time in the best way possible, you are gonna be literally thanking yourself that you divided it like this, rather than the people who save it for the last days to study for an exam. Those people greatly suffer from stress and overworking, overstudying, which is not going to lead to good results. Guys, always remember, if you're studying more than 6-7 hours a day, you are not doing yourself a favor unless you've studied that 20 times before. Okay, and now you have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all for revision, for any Snell's clinical or KLM clinicals that you have to see, any extra things that are left, or whatever revision you want to revise, forearm, hand, and joints again, you can go ahead and do that in the final days. And that is the moment you are literally sitting 25 days prior to this entire timetable, and you're already feeling a sense of satisfaction. That is how a timetable helps you. It takes off all those disorganized thoughts completely put it onto paper, it makes you feel like you've accomplished something even though you haven't. But if you make a doable timetable, by the end of this, guys, believe in me, you are going to come out a strong, extremely intelligent, hardworking, and a topper person. All right, so guys, that was all for the video. Really hope I helped you guys. I make anatomy a piece of cake, so do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.